4 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 3 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Mark 3 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studio producers, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime for today's live show broadcast on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Stations, we are coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, Mark. 1 minute, stations. 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime, on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds. Have fun.
The following is a presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Powered by Learfield, this is Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network.
Go to the pistol formation for the plus 47. There goes Jalen White again up the numbers. 25, 20. Watch the young bull go again. Wings up, Eagle Nation. Touchdown, Georgia Southern.
Hail Southern Live is presented by Morris Bank. Bleed Blue, Bank Blue. Morris Bank member FDIC. Also brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Macon Occupational Medicine. The health of your business may depend on us. And by the Savannah Airport Commission with the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's your host, the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Eagle Nation, it is great to see you again. Another episode of Inside Georgia Southern Athletics on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, back at Wild Wing Cafe, just off of Fair Road, talking plenty of Eagle athletics in Georgia Southern University tonight. It is a busy week all across campus. We will get to that plenty a little bit later on. Georgia Southern football back at home for the final two contests of the regular season. Big one on Saturday against the Marshall Thundering Herd. 6 o'clock kickoff at Paulson. We'll be on at 4 with the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. Appalachian State will be next weekend to wrap up the regular season. Eagles needing only one victory over the final two games to clinch bowl eligibility. But considering the two opponents, 2-0 sounds a little bit better as well. You can tweet us tonight at GS Sports Network. You can also send us a question or a comment on our Facebook live feed. Welcome those of you watching on YouTube live as well. Lots to talk about with defensive end Justin Ellis joining us a little bit later on in his 6th year out of Roswell. He's had a really nice season, leading the team with 9 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. He's had sacks in consecutive weeks. Also for the Eagles, head coach Clay Helton will join us a little bit later on, but we figured we'd start with somebody who has something in common with this week's opponent in Marshall, and also someone who just became a father for the 3rd time. Welcome Deputy AD Chris Davis to Wild Wing Cafe.
Thanks, Danny. Excited to be here.
And it is great to have you here.
3rd.
Number 3.
Wow. Who would have thought? But we're here. So we have 3, and Randy is doing fantastic, and Tatum's doing great, and the 2 little ones, Colton Harper, have accepted the little one great.
That's good.
And
big part of the battle.
And the other big thing is Randy, you know, our due date was November 16th, and baby came November 2nd, and it's Randy's 40th birthday today. So happy birthday, Randy, if she's here. So
well
40.
Done.
That's how you do it. Bring it in.
That's how you do it?
Baby.
A big week with Marshall being in town, their conference opponents for the first time since 1996, but also it's Ag Day. You also have the Budweiser Clydesdales that'll be in town this weekend, and a chance to be able to show off the steel that's over at the IPF site for the first time. Eagle Nation hasn't had a chance to see that in full force yet since it arrived right after that South Alabama contest. But with all of that coming together, this seems like it's a very important time for the athletic department and for the university.
No, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting week, and Saturday's really important. You know, it's fun to watch our team. You know, Coach Helton and I, we're going through just different items that this season's already accomplished, but there's more to go, right? And we still have, you know, two more games, and the best part about it is they're both in Paulson. And Eagle Nation, when they show up in Paulson, great things happen. And so we need a great crowd inside Paulson for both these games, and then to get here and get to Statesboro, and for those that don't live in Statesboro and are coming down to the game, the steel is going to be hung for the indoor practice facility. It has started, so there's 2 huge cranes there doing what they need to do, and so that's extremely a fun time for that project. And then also, you know, Ag Day to embrace kind of the environment and being in Southeast Georgia and where we are, and to be able to have a special day in Ag Day, and to be able to recognize everything we do in this community around ag, as well as just getting one last chance, you know, to bring in to bring back, a cool rivalry that was back in the day. You know, you've heard so many people about how fun it was to watch Georgia Southern and Marshall play.
Sure.
And to have that game now back in Statesboro this year, to start back on the east side of the Sun Belt Division is really, really cool.
I want to go back to the IPF for just a moment. Now that the major part of the structures here, the steel has arrived, what kind of timeline are we looking at for having this go along and hopefully into spring practice before we see something finished?
Yeah, absolutely. So steel gets erected, and actually it goes up pretty fast because of how the setup of the building is. So you'll see the building go up over the next pretty much 2 months. And then after that, you know, the field turf goes in, and the fit and finish. And the plan is to be in that facility right around April 1st, plus or minus.
Nice.
So spring ball this spring, we'll have the ability to have that facility online for hopefully the majority of spring ball.
That's going to get here before we know. And we had the department meeting earlier today to hear Reggie Simpkins say we have 6 school days left in the fall. It blazes by. When we met that first time back in September, we knew it was going to go quickly with everything that was on the slate, but to actually see it come to fruition, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, I mean, here we are. I mean, I remember when the project kicked off, and to have that's just a huge tool to have in the tool belt for all of Georgia Southern athletics, not just football, but the entire athletic program. To have that ability, to have that facility, and as well as it's a very unique facility in the sense that it has fan interaction with that facility for all of the games because of all the tailgate suites that are going to surround that. That's going to be, we're going to start going to market with those suites very soon. And so we're excited to get that project really kind of now on its next phase.
That's an important thing to emphasize because there are similar structures like this going up all across college football and across college athletics, but the ability to enhance the fan experience and for the athletic department as a revenue stream, that makes this a facility all unto itself.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at opportunities. We're constantly trying to be innovative. We have to embrace all of our traditions because they're fantastic traditions. But then we got to fight like all heck to fight for innovation. We have to. Like, if we're not being innovative and looking at opportunities to grow, you're either growing or dying. There's no level playing field. Like, you will never stay level. You either have to grow or you're going backwards. And we have to have a growth mindset with everything we do. We have to have an innovative mindset, but we also have to tell people the why. I think that's extremely important to tell people the why when we do things. And when you do a special project like this, it will impact, and that's what's really cool. And the neat thing is, all the traditions of Eagle Walk and everything are still going to be right there. Yeah. So that's the cool part too.
Basketball season is a week old. The women are off to a 2-0 start. They will be on the road this Saturday at Gardner-Webb. The men got the victory in the home opener on Saturday against Trinity Baptist, but we talk so much about traditions. We've got a chance to bring the toilet paper game back after Ty Strickland's free throw started the game. TP went on the floor. You take the tactical foul and what have you. But to have things like that you can attach to a program and try to grow a program, how important is that?
Well, I think, it goes back to the word I just said, traditions, right? Like, how cool, yes, you get the technical foul, but, you do the right thing by giving the referees a heads up. You give the visiting team a heads up. It's not like, we are showing people exactly what we're telling people what's going to happen so they're not surprised.
Right.
And then, you talk about the brand, and you see, I think I heard today there was like over 600,000 views. Yeah. Of that, and hey, if that's another way for somebody to see Georgia Southern's brand, then hey, that's a great touch point. Anytime we can put our brand in front of somebody, it's an impact point.
Of your stops in college athletics, one of those was in Huntington with Marshall. You were an account executive there in 2008 and 2009, and it's fitting you're up here tonight because they had their ceremony on campus today. It's the 52-year anniversary of the plane crash that took 75 lives and changed that town and changed that program, that entire college forever, and I know how solemn an occasion that is. In recent years, they said they've tried to move away from what it was to make it more of a celebration of life and how they've bounced back from an event like that. But to be there in 08 and 09 and learn about that, what could you share with everybody tonight about what it meant for you to be there at that time?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, and as you talked about it, like it gave me chills just in the sense that if you're a college football fan or you're understanding about storylines of institutions and understanding like that is an awful moment, right? Yeah. But to see what that program has done, and also if you are at that institution and you are there during when they shut the fountain off, which was today. They shut it off every November 14th. It is an extremely moving experience. And, I was just talking to Keith Dixon in the crowd before we jumped on just about how important it is to he's got fans, I mean, Tracy Ham's over there, Ray Driggers, they're all yelling over there. But it's important to realize like that's going to be a cool trip. One thing that's unique about Marshall, they have fantastic traditions. Sure. And they're a story. They're proud. They're a story program. They're The interesting thing is there's a lot of similarities with our traditions, and how prideful we are as a group and as a fan base. And so, it's going to be neat. I do feel I'm excited to be on this side of the equation. I got some friends that still work there, and I've been trying to be a graceful host by giving them spots to, go to in Savannah and stuff. I said, I'll give you all the cool spots in Savannah and places to eat, but when you come up to the borough, I'll give you a hug, but then it's time to, take care of business.
I know your buddy Steve Cotton's looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But no, I think it's a cool thing, and Huntington's, I hold that in a special place in my heart. That's where I met my wife. So
awesome.
It was it's good, but we're blessed to be here, and we officially now have had a birth certificate in the city limits of Statesboro, so we'll ever be tied to this community.
Do it up against Marshall for the first time in 26 years on Saturday, 6 p.m. kick for Ag Day. Budweiser Clydesdales will be in town. Georgia Southern and Marshall on the air at 4 o'clock with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. CD, appreciate your time tonight, sharing your part of your life with your experience with Marshall Athletics. Thanks very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing, just the Clydesdale thing's really, really unique. So get a chance to see them. It takes a lot to get them here, and to see them take a picture, do all those kinds of cool things, and you'll see a lot of stuff out there about them. So enjoy that as well. And thank you always. Thank you, Danny, and Eagle Nation. Hail Southern.
Deputy AD Chris Davis will talk with head coach Clay Helton after this timeout. He calls his players big horses. We'll talk about some more big horses after this from Wild Wing Cafe. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
You need the best players. You need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bevel from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
Here's to the fans who show up for the game, finding their spot, staking their claim, towing the trailers, hauling the gear. A tradition of tailgating that happens each year. And here's to the truck they drive, the Ford F-150 truck. Power your tailgate like never before with an available ProPower onboard generator. For great offers, see your local Ford dealer today. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Optum Medical Center Tatnall, we know you're not yourself when even just one part of you is hurt. Optum Medical Center Tatnall in Reedsville provides Eagle Nation with the highest quality care in surgical, hospital, clinical, diagnostic, and therapeutic services. The physician-owned medical center has been named one of America's top 100 best hospitals for joint replacement and is a 5-star recipient for total hip replacement, total knee replacement, and spinal fusion surgery. For more information, visit OptumHealthSystem.com.
New vision, new identity, same battle cry.
Man, what a great day to be an Eagle. Mercy!
It's time to GATA.
Gerald Green outside the hash. 10, 5, bye-bye.
Jalen White, welcome the young bull all
Listen to Eagles football all season on the Georgia Southern Sports Network from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Motion to the right from J.J. McAfee. The snap, Vantrese throws right. That's caught. Caleb Hood, that's his 4th catch of the game. It's a Morris Bank first down up to the 37. And with that catch, Caleb Hood is now Georgia Southern's all-time leading reception man in program history, his 128th career catch. We will talk plenty more about Caleb Hood a little bit later on in this week's edition of Hail Southern live from Wild Wing Cafe on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. We remind you that Morris Bank is the presenting sponsor of the 2022 season. Rooted in Eagle Nation, most of the leadership team are Georgia Southern alumni. Bleed Blue, Bank Blue, Morris Bank, member FDIC. Of course, Georgia Southern football taking on Marshall this weekend, 6 o'clock kick. We're live at 4 with the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. It's a special day to have Marshall back in the Sun Belt Conference mates for the first time since 1996. Marshall incidentally won the national championship that year before making the move to the FBS. They won the MAC in year 1. Talk a little bit more about Georgia Southern football. Please welcome in head coach Clay Helton to Wild Wing Cafe. Now, Coach, like we just talked about with CD, this is a day of remembrance for a certain group of people in college football, and with some events that happened earlier today in Charlottesville, it's unfortunately going to be remembered for something else.
Yeah, you know, before we even get started, I said in our press conference, it's a sad day, and our thoughts and condolences and prayers go out to the University of Virginia, the Virginia football family, the city of Charlottesville. It's just a tragedy, and I can't imagine what they're going through right now, but our prayers and our love are sent their way, and we're thinking about our football family tonight up in Virginia.
As a team, is that something that you address?
Yeah, you do. We were off today. I visited with one of our individual players that knew Virginia players, and I had a chance to visit with him today. And then we'll come in tomorrow and just talk openly as a family and make sure you don't ever assume anything. You know, anytime a tragedy like this happens, it can trigger other things for young men about memories in their past or occurrences in their past. And so you put football aside. You know, today is, it seems kind of trivial to the game of football when something like that goes on. But, yeah, we will discuss it as a football family.
You know, this is the other part of the job. The outside sees you as the head football coach. Your job is to win football games. But when you're building and shaping the lives of 18 to 22-year-old men, this is a big part of how you do that.
Yeah, definitely. I've always taken the approach. I've got 3 children by birth. I got 134 young men right now I get the honor to adopt. And, you know, there's the coach in you, but there's also the adopted father. And sometimes you step aside and you go, hey, let's take a moment and put football aside here and let's discuss a really hard topic and make sure you're doing okay and make sure that is there anything that we can do to support you. And this is one of those instances.
Eagles falling last Thursday against Louisiana, 36-17, 5-5 the overall record, 2-4 in conference play. But as we mentioned, the final 2 contests this season are home games with Marshall on Saturday and then App the following Saturday to wrap up the regular season. Having the couple of extra days to lead into Marshall, what kind of things did you guys get done?
Well, one, get a little healthy.
Yeah.
You know, having 2 games in 11 days. In the most violent game there is. We got some bumps and bruises, obviously suffered some severe injuries, season-ending injuries at some key positions. So it gave us a little bit of opportunity as a staff that, one, to get our team a little bit more healthy, but also to discuss upcoming personnel as we go into game planning for this week, and be able to really look at, okay, where the pieces of the puzzle go. You know, our trainer, Big Nick, is doing a heck of a job right now trying to get some guys back for us. And I think we're in good position getting a couple guys back. But obviously, when you lose a Derwin, you lose a Luttrell, you lose a Mark Langston, those are key figures on your team that's hard to replace.
the focus went to Derwin after the fourth down catch. I mean, he goes down with a leg issue, and then for Luttrell to hurt his knee. But the one that you probably would never think about is losing your long snapper to a torn ACL, and that's such a rare injury. Everybody has to have the backup long snapper. Thankfully, we travel a backup long snapper, but I can't think that Jackson Wheeler was thinking he was going to play on Thursday night.
Yeah, it's you never know when your opportunity is going to come, and credit to Jackson. I mean, to go out there every day and not. Sometimes there's not even a glimmer of hope. There's no carrot at the end of the rainbow there. He's got to train every day, waiting just in case he's called upon. And lo and behold, he's called upon, and he does his job and did it effectively.
He actually made a pretty significant play, at least at the point in the game. On Anthony Beck's punt, he kept it away from Eric Gare, but Dante Fleming gets back for the Cajuns, picks up the football, and there was nobody on that side of the field. It looked like he could have gone, but Jackson runs him down and prevents the touchdown.
Yeah, definitely. He did a tremendous job, great effort getting down the field, and then what's maybe one of the more dangerous return men in the country finds a way to get down, so saved us there.
You did speak earlier today about how things seemed to go off the rails a little bit during that second quarter, giving up the 3 touchdowns. It was a 7-7 game after Derwin's touchdown reception, capped off a 96-yard drive. But going back and reviewing the film, what's specifically in that second quarter didn't go your way?
Well, I thought, one, it started offensively. Anytime that you go 2 of 14 on the night, and primarily that second quarter, we all took turns, offensively, defensively, and special teams-wise. You ended up having – we had 5 penalties on offense, I think 3 in that quarter.
Yeah.
You had some 3-and-outs that gave an offense that was in rhythm in ULL the opportunity to get the ball back. So we didn't do our job offensively. Defensively, in that second quarter, as far as putting people in the right spots, I thought we'll put them in the right spots, but we got out of gaps and got some physical beats that got us out of gaps. And so all of a sudden, what should have been a 1 to 2 yard run turns into a 4 to 5 yard run, and now it's 2nd and 5, and they just were in 3rd and manageables all night during that quarter. And then lastly, in special teams, you have the long punt return in that quarter. So all of a sudden, a 7-7 game, you look up and it's 27-7. From that point on, I thought, defensively took a deep breath at halftime, really said, okay, hey, it's not what we're calling, we just need to fit our gaps. And they hold ULL to 9 points in the second half with their first string offense, and really, put the last field goal on me, try to be aggressive and go for the onside kick there in the fourth quarter. I thought they did a really nice job of regrouping and battling. We've got to have that consistent effort all the way through when you play really good teams in the Sun Belt.
Take a question from social media before our next time out. Lance asking on Twitter, what does a college coach do with no game on a Saturday? Watch other games, work on a honey-do list. What was on your list on Saturday?
Lance is absolutely I was, got a little bit ahead on Marshall, having the opportunity to watch the Marshall App State game.
Yeah.
2, watched a little bit of them in all 3 phases, just trying to get a day ahead on them. Was a little bit of a football fan that day. Watched another game or 2, and then Miss Angela, I finally was at my house in the daylight for the first time, I think, this season since early August, and she had a list of things for me to do. So I did get about a half dozen things done for her.
We'll continue with Coach Helton after the break. We'll visit with Justin Ellis a little bit later on. We'll be back in just a moment from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. This is Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
You need the best players. You need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bevel from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
Talent inspired, Hi, this is Terry Harvin, and I firmly believe that those are two words that should describe your company's starting lineup of employees. If they don't, then you need to reach out to my friends at Select Source Staffing. Talent inspired since 1997, Select Source is owned by a proud Georgia Southern grad. They're solution-minded and truly understand that no two companies and no two employees are the same. So whether you're looking to hire someone or you're searching for a new opportunity for yourself, explore Select Source and check out their postings at selectsource.com.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
Hey Eagle Nation, it's Stacy Underwood from Uncle Shook's Barbecue Place at 434 South Main Street right here in Statesboro. We're proud to be a partner of Georgia Southern football in this new era and want to wish Coach Helton luck in his first year. Remember, game day isn't complete without some Uncle Shook's favorites like our slow-cooked barbecue pork, juicy and tender beef brisket, and fall-off-the-bone smoked ribs. Add some of our made-from-scratch sides and you'll be a winner at the tailgate. Place an order online at UncleShooks.com. Go Eagles!
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
You choose the combination, and they'll cook in their 500-degree brick oven in just a few minutes. Your own delicious pizza experience using only the freshest ingredients on hand-tossed dough and individually sized just for you. And that Eagle Nation is why they're called Your Pie, because it's all about you. The Your Pie in Statesboro and downtown Savannah is owned and operated by Joe Hunt, a Georgia Southern grad. So when you order your next pizza, be true blue and make it all about you. Go see Joe at Your Pie, and I guarantee it, you'll be glad you did.
Powered by Learfield, this is the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank.
Legs up, Eagle Nation! Touchdown, Georgia Southern!
Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
About halfway through this week's edition of Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, brought to you each Monday by Morris Bank. Athletics off and running with Georgia Southern football hosting Marshall on Saturday. It will be Ag Day as we're celebrating our partnerships with the Georgia Cotton and Peanut Commission, also with Yancey, with Yellowwood, with Case IH Tidewater. You've got the Budweiser Clydesdales that are going to be in town, and it is a really special occasion to have Marshall back in the Sun Belt Conference. They meet for the first time since 1996. Coach Clay Helton joining us for another segment before we bring up sixth-year senior defensive end Justin Ellis. Something I've wanted to ask you for a while, and I finally remembered to ask you. For somebody that spent a dozen years in Los Angeles, I ask you this in this particular way, but what's the coolest number in your cell phone?
Oh, man. Well, I'll say this. When I was in Los Angeles at USC, I never got enamored with the movie stars or anything like that.
Okay.
But when Marcus Allen walks up on top of you or Ronnie Lott walks up on top of you and you're a football guy and you grew up, that makes your knees buckle. And one of the greatest memories I'll ever have is about 15 seconds before the Rose Bowl against Penn State. I feel the biggest set of hands I've ever felt on the back of my shoulders. And I turn around, and it's Marcus Allen. And he just said, Coach, good luck. I know you're going to do a great job today. And I could have retired right there. So I think one of the coolest ones would be Marcus Allen. I think just as a guy, he played for my dad at the Raiders and knew him personally, just the man he is, the player he is, what he represents in football, pretty special dude.
Now, during the women's clinic, Miss Angela brought up Snoop Dogg and having a chance to hang out with him a little bit.
That's probably on Miss Angela's speed dial. Now you get into singers, rappers, artists, movie stars. That's Miss Angela.
You don't have any Snoop Dogg stories?
Well, if I hang with Miss Angela, you can run into Snoop. But
Okay.
I usually am in a football office.
Okay. We mentioned about the 96-yard scoring drive from Thursday against the Cajuns. We didn't say how it got set up. You've got to go back to that 4th and goal play. The Cajuns went for it. They had converted twice on 4th downs earlier, but Ben Woldridge rolls out, throws to the goal line. Derek Canteen comes up with his first interception of the season. Great to see him make a play in a big spot.
Yeah, that was a big stop for us. It's fixing to go 14-0 in that game. All of a sudden, you get that turnover. And then you go on a long drive. You make your own 4th and 1, and then set up 2 explosive plays. That was just a pivotal play, and we really felt like if we could get them in some 3rd and longs in that game, we could either get to the quarterback or make some poor decisions. And that was one there's 3rd and I think it was 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
On 3rd and goal around 7 and 8, longer situation. And all of a sudden, we're able to get to him, make a poor decision, and Derek's right there for the play.
We referenced the touchdown pass to Derwin already on the halfback option from O.J. Arnold, but the play before that, it's the first career catch for Evan Lester, and he had made his first career start against Old Dominion a couple of weeks before, but to go to him on the seam route, beautifully thrown ball, an even better catch.
Yeah, you look over the last couple of weeks, and Coach Ellis has really used the tight ends effectively, whether it's been J.J. or whether it's been Evan. And credit to Evan, had an early injury, early in the season that really kept him out about the first 4 weeks. Comes back, gets healthy, and really shows some great physicality at the point of attack, and is a good athlete out in space, blocking in space, and good for him. Made a big play in that game, an explosive play down the field. To our tight end, just missed him on another one. Ball was thrown slightly behind, but it's good to see him playing well.
3 freshmen that stood out on Thursday. We mentioned Dalen Cobb the week before, his second straight game with 3 receptions. Marcus Sanders scores his first career touchdown on a terrific catch, barely in bounds on the left side of the end zone. But somebody that hasn't been mentioned today, Elhaj Fall on the defensive line. He just jumps in and says, I'm going to have 6 tackles in my debut. Not too bad.
Yeah, one of the best rules that the NCAA came up with about 3 or 4 years ago was the new redshirt rule of being able to get 4 games anytime. And so when you look up in November and you have injuries, you're not having to make that critical decision, do I pull his redshirt, do I not pull it? You still have 4 games available. And El Haj is one of those guys that you look up and, was he ready game 1 when he initially came in? No, wasn't quite ready game 1. But you train him over, 7, 8, 9 weeks. Then he's ready to go in and be an effective player. And credit to him, 6 tackles and showed great hustle. Showed a kid that was, when we signed him, 240 pounds. Now he's 285 pounds. He's put on 45 pounds and still growing.
Wow.
He gets bigger by the second. So, it's something. He's got a really, really bright future. When you look at Latrell Bullard and you look at Elhaj Fall, you look at Deshaun Davis, wait till you see M.J. Stroud, him coming on. You really got a dynamic freshman front 4 that's learning from a vet like Justin Ellis.
I know that Deshaun Davis is listed at 280 pounds. I don't know where he puts it, but for him to have that kind of frame and that kind of speed, you don't get that very often.
No, El Haj is 280. Double D is 225 on his best day.
That's what I thought. All right.
No, he's that new breed of defensive end that you see, in the NFL. Von Miller started it 7 or 8 years ago. Just everybody started looking at, hey, where's Von Miller? Where's the 235 to 250 pound guy that's half linebacker, half defensive end, that just has elite pass rushing skills, but is able to be athletic enough in space to drop when zone pressures have. And those are hard bodies to find. And when you find a Deshaun Davis and you find an M.J. Stroud and you find you have a Justin Ellis that has that capability, those are rare guys to be able to find great pass rushers that also have the athleticism to drop in space.
This is something that I'm going to ask him about when he joins us next segment, but he came back specifically because last year was not the way that he wanted to end his college career. Still a victory away from a chance to get back to a bowl. From the head coach's standpoint, what has he meant to this team?
Man, I tell you, I can't believe a year's gone by. I remember sitting down. It was one of the first conversations I had with anybody, sitting them down and saying, hey, here's the vision, and to be able to be successful within the vision, I need you to be a part of it, and I need you to help me lead it. And, you know, he had that taste in his mouth of, and three-win season, Coach. I don't want to end my career on that. I want to continue and really set a foundation, help you set a foundation. And I look over the last year, the relationship he and I have grown into, and the relationship, and just the leader that he's become, and think of the memories that he's had.
Yeah.
To beat a Power 5 school, to beat a top 25 school, to have the opportunity to, you know, you're getting ready to play a rival in App State, you know, to try to fight for that win, to try to, you know, lead your team to a bowl game, you know, to be to be a captain on the captain's wall and wear the C. Man, what an unbelievable year. That's why it's these next two games are so important. And I'm begging every Eagle fan, all of Eagle Nation, all the students, there are some guys that are just that special, that gave a year of their life. Dylan Springer, Todd Bradley Glenn. I think of the guys that have just said, you know what, I'm going to give a year of my life to go build the foundation and put this team back in a postseason play. And we've got that opportunity in these last two games. So, Eagle Nation, come help us get there. And I've felt it at James Madison. I've felt it at every game we've been in Paulson. The power of Paulson is special. And let's help the guys like Justin Ellis and the rest of those seniors get to postseason play.
You'll see him this Saturday. You're going to hear him next segment. Justin Ellis will join us when we come back on Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Here's to the fans who show up for the game, finding their spot, staking their claim, towing the trailers, hauling the gear, a tradition of tailgating that happens each year. And here's to the truck they drive, the Ford F-150 truck. Power your tailgate like never before with an available ProPower onboard generator. For great offers, see your local Ford dealer today. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
At Optum Medical Center Tatnall, we know you're not yourself when even just one part of you is hurt. Optum Medical Center Tatnall in Reedsville provides Eagle Nation with the highest quality care in surgical, hospital, clinical, diagnostic, and therapeutic services. The physician-owned medical center has been named one of America's top 100 best hospitals for joint replacement and is a 5-star recipient for total hip replacement, total knee replacement, and spinal fusion surgery. For more information, visit OptumHealthSystem.com.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance. All without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
At Tidewater Equipment Company in Brooklyn, we understand how important every hour is when you're farming. We have an exceptional parts and service department, an extensive used equipment inventory, and we are exclusive distributors of Case IH tractors, planters, sprayers, combines, and more. We're here for everything you need when it comes to agriculture. Visit Tidewater in Brooklyn or online at TidewaterEquip.com, your premier Case IH tractor dealer. To those who work in acres, not ours, we thank you.
You need the best players. You need to keep them safe. And if they do get injured, you need the best occupational medicine services available to make sure that they're back in the game for you and your business. This is Leonard Bell from Macon Occupational Medicine, and that's exactly what we've been doing for business and industries throughout Georgia since 1990. We outperform others by getting injured workers back to work quicker while maintaining the highest levels of customer satisfaction. The health of your business may depend on us. We're Macon Occupational Medicine.
Your one-stop for all college sports is the Varsity app and the brand new Varsity Network website, thevarsitynetwork.com. Keep up with your favorite teams and the rest of college sports, no matter where you are, with thevarsitynetwork.com. Live and on-demand broadcasts, your favorite college-centric podcasts, with stories and video around college sports and your favorite teams. Be sure to download the Varsity app and check out the brand new Varsity Network website, thevarsitynetwork.com.
Opportunity, dedication, the
process.
Saberstop reverse layup goes, and the foul. He cuts over the baseline. He dunked it right on top of Talbot.
Oh, come on, Kamari.
Don't hurt him.
Eagles basketball plays here.
Kamari to Saberstop three. He's got it. It's a run out for Orgy. Here he comes. Two-handed dunk. Oh, what a moment. This place explodes.
Hail Southern all season long on the Georgia Southern Sports Network.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Receiver spread right, shotgun snap to Woolridge. Pressure from Ellis, Justin Ellis hits him, and Justin Ellis brings him to the ground. Stopped him at the 17, 3 seconds left. Cajuns call one of their timeouts. One of 4.5 sacks for Justin Ellis in this 2022 season. Also 2 tackles for loss that contest. He has a team-high 9 going into the final 2 games of the regular season, both at Allen E. Paulson Stadium. Georgia Southern hosting Marshall on Saturday at 6. Next Saturday, they've got Appalachian State at 6. We'll start both contests at 4 o'clock with a Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. For any comments, submit those on Twitter at GS Sports Network, or you can do so on the Facebook live feed in the comments section. Eagle Nation, please welcome in 6th-year senior from Roswell, Georgia. Give it up for Justin Ellis. Second appearance in as many years on Hail Southern Live. Good to have you back, man.
Good to be here.
To see the kind of impact that you have had this year, a year that you specifically came back for. You could have called it quits after 21, but I know that you wanted this year. How has it gone for you so far?
I mean, obviously, as a team, we've played some close games and won and lost both some close games. Individually, I mean, I kind of will look after the season at my own individual success, but really it's all about the team during the season. I can reflect on my own success afterwards, but it's been nice being a captain. That was a great honor to get voted as a captain before the season and try and lead the guys. I mean, it's been up and down this year, but it's been a great journey.
Well, like Coach Helton talked about, being able to come back, beat a Big Ten team, a Power 5 team out of the Sea of Red against Nebraska, beat another top 25 team, something that Georgia Southern did in 2018 and 2019, being able to do that at home against James Madison. I got to think those are the kind of memories you were hoping for, too.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, those are 2 memories that I'll have with me for the rest of my life. Going into Nebraska, I mean, that was quite the environment. I mean, I've never played in front of a stadium like that. And to go in there and win and bring that win back to the community and everything meant a lot. Celebrating the locker room, running on the field after they missed the field goal. I mean, it was a crazy memory. And then at James Madison, top 25 team, that was a game we really needed to win. So, I mean, that's another thing that will always stick with me.
What do you take into account in how you rush the passer?
Really, the first thing I always think about is just getting off the ball, and then you got to study the guys who are going to block you during the week, and you look at different things like the way they set and the way they use their hands. So, I mean, you kind of have a list of moves that you think you could work going into every game, and you kind of adjust on the fly as the game goes on, but you kind of have an idea of what your plan is.
I'm not going to ask you to give away what you're going to do against Marshall, but we can tell people that their starting tackles are 6'9" and 6'7". What do you do with that telling us what you're going to do?
No, I mean, I actually always say I like playing against taller tackles than shorter ones because they can't move. They're not as agile, so you can get certain stuff on them that you can't get on shorter guys. But, I mean, it'll be a good matchup. Go against big guys all year long, so you're used to it at this point, you know.
You seem like you've got that motor where every play you're on the field, you act like it's the last play that you're ever going to be out there. Where does the motor come from?
That's just the way I grew up, knowing how to play the game. It's the only way I know how to play it. And then, I mean, after being hurt 2019, it's like I now play every play like it's my last. I experienced it back then, and I see guys every week or every season that get hurt, and you never know when your last play is going to be, so you don't want to look back and possibly have your last play be a play you were taking off.
we're used to you having your hand in the ground, but a lot of times this year, especially in passing situations, you've been that stand-up, that outside field defensive end. What has it been like adapting that part of your game?
I mean, honestly, I feel more natural that way anyways. So, I mean, it's been an easy transition for me from that playing a lot of 4 technique last year to standing up on the edge a lot more this year. It feels much more natural.
All right, your boy Springer got a pick against James Madison. What do we got to do to get you a pick?
I don't know. One may come though. You know, it's really luck.
We had him on earlier this year to comment on what it was like to have you on the other side, being 2 6th-year guys. What's it like for you to look on that other side and see somebody that came in the same year as you did back in 2018?
I mean, I know exactly what I'm going to get from him every snap. It's like a big level of trust, like knowing that the other side of the defense, the edge is locked down over there. So Dylan, that's my boy. We've been through a lot together here, and coming in the same class, both transferring in together, him from JUCO and me from Syracuse. So, I mean, we've been through a lot. He's my roommate on the road for away games. So, I mean, it's funny the conversations we have and things we talk about the night before games and whatnot. So, I always know I can trust him, and he's going to be in the right spot.
When you came here 4 years ago, what did you expect out of your experience?
I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest. I knew that this was a really great community and a really fun place to go to school and a really great football program with great history. And I came in after 3-9 season, whatever the record was the year before I came here. So I was struggling, and I just wanted to rebuild it and leave it in better hands than I came here with. And I think that after this season, we'll be doing that.
You were part of the press conference earlier today at the FOC, and you came prepared when you were asked about Marshall running back Kalen Laburn. He's #1 in the league in rushing with 1,253 yards. He had 7 consecutive 100-yard games earlier this season, about 5'11", 215 pounds, a former Florida State Seminole. You guys have faced a ton of talented running backs this year. I think this is the 7th guy that's going to rank inside the nation's top 50 in rushing yards at the time that you would have played them. But watching him, what is something that makes him unique?
This is explosiveness. He's a really explosive back. Like, you can just see the twitch and explosiveness when he cuts, and he does a really great job of pressing holes and jump cutting. So, I mean, when you play a running back like that, especially, you have to be extremely gap sound on defense, because if one guy's out of the gap, he's going to find it.
When you guys go good on good against Jalen, against OJ, against Gerald, how much of that do you get a chance to see when you're facing other great running backs across this league? How does that help prepare you that much more?
No, I mean, it helps amazing, because I'll take our guys over anybody in the league. I mean, both really explosive, strong running backs that are hard to tackle and really can find holes. So, I mean, practicing against them every day in camp and whatnot, it prepares you for that and really reiterates the importance of doing your job.
You're going to get at least 2 games in the regular season, needing 1 victory to get back to the postseason. Has it started to hit you yet that it's beginning to wind down?
You feel it, you know, you think about it, but you try not to let it get to you, you know, because, I mean, my goal is to go 1-0 every week, and it's coming to an end, and you kind of feel it, but I don't know. I don't think it will hit me until it's actually done, because, you know, when you come in and you're a freshman, the older guys will tell you it goes by like that. I mean, it really does. They say that the days are long, but the time is short. That's what Coach Rip always says. So it's true. I mean, the beginning of the season, the days are long, but the time is short. So
you're in the middle of a really good season. Everybody here, Eagle Nation, is so happy you decided to come back. Hopefully you can get at least 1 more and get a chance to play in another bowl game. Appreciate you being here tonight, man.
Thank you.
Justin Ellis, 6th-year senior defensive end from Roswell, one of Georgia Southern's captains in 22. Clay Helton comes back to close it out on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
University Store is built for game day. As the official store of Georgia Southern University, we have the largest selection of officially licensed hats, polos, tees, tanks, tumblers, signs, bobbleheads, and more. Every Eagle, young and old, can find their favorite Georgia Southern merchandise at our Armstrong and Statesboro campus stores. As part of the university, we support student success by investing our profits back into scholarships, facility improvements, and programs on each campus. Visit our stores today or shop 24/7 at gsustore.com.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Is slow internet slowing you down? Having trouble connecting to all your technology needs? Bullock Solutions has the solution for you. With a 100% fiber optic high-speed network, Bullock Solutions provides modern services with the latest technologies available in the industry. Need security options for your new home? Bullock Solutions has got you covered with state-of-the-art video surveillance and smart technology to give you the peace of mind you deserve. Bullock Solutions has internet and technology packages to meet every need. Visit us at bullock.solutions today.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out GAPeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanut! Get your peanut! You understand that it's not just grand gestures that can change someone's life. It's consistency, doing the same thing every day for a long, long time. At Georgia Southern, we believe it's you, our annual giving donors, doing more than just impacting the bottom line. You're impacting students filled with big dreams and the desire to change the world. Our mission is to make them ready to make those dreams real, and your gift makes it possible. Because of you, they are ready. Visit georgiasouthern.edu/give to make a difference.
For many years, you've heard that Knox knocks them out. Well, that's because it's true. The Knox family has been serving yours for over 85 years. Just like the Eagles on the field, the Knox experts respond with speed. In addition to their soonest possible same or next day service, your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed with pest, termite, mosquito, wildlife, and bed bug control. To learn more about how Knox knocks them out, head over to knoxpest.com or call 877-KNOX-PEST.
Powered by Learfield, this is the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank.
Legs up, Eagle Nation! Touchdown, Georgia Southern!
Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's return live from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reed.
Final segment this week on Hail Southern Live, brought to you by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, live from Wild Wing Cafe just off of Fair Road. No travel for Georgia Southern this week, but Hail Southern Live is brought to you in part by the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport and the Savannah Airport Commission. Visit them online at flysav.com before your next trip. And, Coach, before we get into Marshall, Justin just said something really profound. The days are long, but the time is short. I love that.
Yeah, it's Chris, CD, and I were talking about it today, that how fast a year goes.
Yep.
I mean, it flies. I feel like I just met Justin a week ago, and it's already been a year. And you grind so hard. You know, you start the 1st of August, and it's every day, all day, especially as a student athlete. I mean, you're lifting, you're going to school, you're coming back for meetings, you've got practice. You know, you're going to study hall, you're doing your schoolwork. And it's a grind, but you blink your eyes, and your college career is coming to an end.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I always tell the kids, man, make the most of each moment, and don't let it pass you by, because it goes so quick. Build the relationships within the team, the coaches. That's what college is all about. You meet great people with relationships that last forever, and it's short. You know, it feels so hard, and you look back and you look up one day and you're 50 like me, and you look back and go, God, it was so hard, but it was the greatest times ever.
You know, Marshall's a team that's going to come to town 6-4 on Saturday. They've gotten to 6 wins, but they still need one more win to get to bowl eligibility, because 2 of those victories are against FCS teams, so they need to get to 7, just like Appalachian State, in order to play in the postseason. And this is a unique matchup because with your time spent at Memphis, you would have matched up against Marshall a number of times, and talking with Chris already about how much today means, this November the 14th, how much that means to the Marshall community. What does that add to you in your understanding of where this program is?
It's such a special, rich tradition with a fan base just like ours. I know at Marshall, their fan base is strong, and they love that university, and they are a family. And so they have a lot of pride. And, in my time, whether it was at Memphis or, I've watched my brother have to play Marshall over the last 3 years. And it just, you have so much respect for them. They're so well coached. They're so tough. They bring great athletes and a great rich tradition. And it's two storied programs. So when you get a Georgia Southern and you get a Marshall together and you reunite and to play in a game that means a lot in late November, that's pretty special. So once again, selling point, come this Saturday, Phil Paulson, and watch a great football game.
Thankfully, there's no more Randy Moss. There's no more Chad Pennington, no more Byron Leftwich, but they've got a really good running back in Kalen Laburn, like we talked about with Justin Ellis and that defense, top 10 nationally in a number of categories. It feels like that's been a week-in, week-out thing with the defenses we've seen in the Sun Belt this year.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't realize in coming to the job how special the defenses are in this league and how special the players are. You look across the board, every week there could be as many as 10 bowl teams.
That's nuts.
In this conference. And you knew how competitive it was, but it's going to be one of those premier leagues, I think, in the nation. When you're talking about the premier group of 5 league, I don't know how you not look at the Sun Belt. And you look up at the Power 5 wins that have happened. You look how competitive it is, the number of bowl teams that are going to be out of this, and we've got our chance to have our ticket. And so, special game this Saturday against a really quality opponent.
Real quickly, about 30 seconds left. Marshall's number 1 in the country in third down defense. Knowing the struggles from the last couple of weeks, how much better do you need to be on first and second down to overcome that?
You have to. If you get in third and long versus this team, it's extremely hard. They can get to you with 4 rushers and play coverage, and out on the outside they are very talented. So it's one of those games that you have to be in third and manageable, 5 or less, to be successful. And hopefully you make a couple first downs on first and second down. That'd be nice too.
Got the tree lighting over at Sweetheart Circle tomorrow. It's Ag Day this weekend, the SAC Food Drive. You can take your canned food items and non-perishable food items to Gate 8 at Paulson Stadium. Budweiser Clydesdales will be here. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Georgia Southern and Marshall, 6 o'clock kick. We're on at 4 p.m. Coach, thanks so much for the time this week. Good luck getting to 1-0.
Thank you so much. Hail Southern.
For head coach Clay Helton, Justin Ellis, Chris Davis, and Jonathan Breland back in the studios. Danny Reed signing off from Wild Wing Cafe. We will see you at Paulson Stadium on Saturday, 6 o'clock. Georgia Southern and Marshall. We'll do it right here on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.